Good afternoon, cult members, and welcome to Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
This is going to be a trailer reaction for Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan's epic that's coming. It's been my number one movie since they announced it, most anticipated, and we have not done a trailer reaction for it yet. So here we go. Oppenheimer. Go. Oop, green screen. Uh-oh.
This is a national emergency.
Detonator charged.
Boom.
And in.
We're in a race against the Nazis. And I know what it means. If the Nazis have a bomb.
Yep.
We have a 12-month head start. 18. How could you possibly know that?
We've got one hope. All America's industrial might and scientific innovation connected here. A secret laboratory. Keep everyone there until it's done.
Let's go recruit some scientists.
Build a town.
Built a
build it
town.
fast. If we don't let scientists bring their families, we'll never get the best.
Why would we go to the middle of nowhere for who knows how long?
Well,
Because you don't know exploded in the middle of
How about
somewhere.
because this is the most important thing to ever happen in the history of the world.
You're the great improviser, but this you can't do in your head.
Are we saying there's a chance
Are you
that
sure?
when we push that button, we destroy the world?
Chances are near zero.
Near zero.
What do you want from theory alone?
Zero would be nice.
This is a matter of life and death. But I can perform this miracle.
World War II would be over. Our boys would come home.
That's happening, isn't it?
The world will remember this day. Our work here will ensure a peace mankind has never seen.
or
Until somebody builds a bigger one.
You are the man who gave them the power to destroy themselves. And the world is not prepared.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Truman needs to know what's next.
2,
What's next?
1.
I love the Geiger counter going off the whole time in the countdown. Because we all know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Buy tickets. I mean, we can't buy tickets right now because tickets aren't on sale, and
Right.
we don't have a space on our A list because
Because all the movies.
all the movies. But
Yeah. I mean, there's.
it has to be IMAX. We have to see this.
Oh yeah,
IMAX.
absolutely, absolutely. I don't know the last time we saw a Christopher Nolan movie not in
In
IMAX.
IMAX.
Maybe Batman. I mean, usually a Christopher Nolan movie comes out and we're seeing it in IMAX just because he has 100% embraced it. He films it in IMAX.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm interested to see it in 35 millimeter too. That kind of grainy.
Yeah, maybe they'll do a grainy cut like they did for Logan on the DVD or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. So Killian and Emily in A Quiet Place 2 were like, hey, I like working with you.
Right.
I like working with you too. I wonder if Christopher Nolan's doing a thing. Let's go talk to him. I like their chemistry though. I think that the two of them make a believable couple.
They make a believable couple, especially with Killian's kind of it's going to sound like a slight, but it's not. His deadpan manner, his very even keeled manner,
Yes.
especially for somebody like he's playing as Oppenheimer. You need that kind of his even keel works very well with her, who can be very even keeled, but also like just watch her in Jungle Book. She's off the rails.
Yeah.
Kind of.
She has a sense of humor.
She has a sense of humor, and she'll bring some levity to their relationship between the two of them.
Yeah.
And then you have Matt Damon, who's doing the I will get this done for my country no matter what the cost is kind of guy.
Yeah.
Which he's done kind of a version of that before, but it's I always like seeing him in a military kind of role, especially now that he's older.
Yeah.
And so I just
and then Robert Downey Jr. playing the old guy.
So I have a theory. I've been trying not to read up on this. I've just watched the trailers. I know the general story of Oppenheimer and the testing of the H-bomb and stuff like that. A-bomb? No, H-bomb. But the making of this is going to be so much more important to me after I see it, especially in IMAX and whatever.
Yeah.
But my theory currently is that the black and white stuff is the trial.
Right. So I have heard that, and I believe it was this movie, that Robert Downey Jr. ages in the movie. So I think that the actual bomb part, and you would think that'd be the beginning, but if you watch Dunkirk,
it's all
he loves and Tenet, he loves to play with time, so it could be out of order. But the stuff in color is them actually building the bomb. Could we, all of that, and obviously building Los Alamos, the town. They showed a lot of that all the way through to kind of the trial that happened after the fact, and so he ages. They age him.
I think they're going to bracket it with the trial.
Maybe.
I think the opening of the movie is him walking down the hall with all the cameras going off.
Maybe they do the trial first.
Oh, they start with the trial.
Yeah.
And him telling the story of why they did it and how they did it and everything.
Yeah.
And then the end is the verdict of them saying, "Oh wait, no, you did it for the right reason."
Or if it's Christopher Nolan and it's going to be all
it's going to be all over the place, which is also fine. Which is fine, but I think the stuff in color is the story, and I think the accusing part of it, the ramifications of that story is all the stuff in black and white.
Yeah, and it's very it gives you the McCarthy era feel.
Yeah.
Of the videos that you see from those hearings and lawmakers feeling that they have more power than
I really love that in this trailer specifically they announce, like they say, if the Germans get what happens if the Germans get the bomb. I know what happens when the Germans get the bomb. Like it is the conversation.
Yeah.
And that's, I think a lot of people have kind of lost that through the annals of time and the retelling of histories and stuff like that, that if the Germans have gotten the ball, we would all be speaking German.
Right. They made a show about that on Amazon.
Right. But it's just kind of a very interesting, like they're going to point that out because that was the catalyst for the decision to possibly end everything because they just didn't know. They thought they knew, but they just didn't know.
Right. And I mean, honestly, this part of it anyway was probably the best of all outcomes. The bombing of the cities in Japan was, in hindsight, probably not a great idea, and they probably could have just bombed the middle of nowhere, some island or whatever, and said, "Look, we can do this," and given everybody a chance. I don't know. I wasn't there, but this part, like you said, what were they gonna do?
Yeah.
Were they gonna just not try to make the bigger, better bomb, and then let Germany, take the Nazi Germany take over the world?
And a little bit of history. The 70% of the reason why the war was won against the Germans is because Hitler got greedy and tried to go against Russia in winter. And Russia lost 20 million people.
Yeah.
And now he's fighting on multiple fronts, and he couldn't protect the French coastline because he had a bunch of his troops in Africa and a bunch of his troops trying to go to Russia.
Yeah.
He expended too much of his energy trying to go into Russia, and when Russia actually got motivated, they took a lot of Germany's attention away from the French coast, which allowed the Allies to come over.
Right.
And then there's a giant pincer movement going on.
Right.
That's a different reference to a different Nolan movie. But yeah, that kind of the history of all of that. I really want them to kind of talk about like the importance of why those decisions were having to be made because, FYI, the Allies were losing.
Yeah.
When they decided to build this bomb.
Yeah, well, the U.S. took its sweet ass time getting into the war, which didn't help. So by the time we got there, everybody else was like, we don't have anybody left.
Yeah.
And then, Japan joined. So then it's a global pincer movement, except, we came with because they were going to do this, right? And then, but we bombed couple of cities and they went, never mind.
Never mind. My bad. So let us know what you think of this movie. We can go on for a while. I'm not kidding.
It's going to look amazing.
When Christopher Nolan said, "I'm doing Oppenheimer," and Oppenheimer is being played by Cillian Murphy, I was in.
Yes.
And then everyone else is in this movie. And so, Christopher called people and says, "I'm making yes." And so we are super excited. So we want to hear your excitement for this movie. Let us know in the comments down below. Please be nice. That's a requirement around here. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Follow us on all the social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Links are in the description down below. And until next time, cult members, good afternoon, good evening, and good night now.